Welcome back to Ask This Old House. We are out on the road solving your home improvement projects.
Some people love their lawns, some people hate the maintenance. I'm going to show you a low-maintenance alternative.
And I'm going to help a homeowner stay warm by installing a new baseboard heating system.
And I'm going to show you an easy way to mark the exact location for electrical boxes on a sheet of drywall.
We are getting lots of questions about alternatives to lawns. Either people don't have the full sun needed to grow them, or they don't want the maintenance that's involved with them, the mowing, the watering, and the fertilizing. We're also getting questions about alternatives to spreading all that bark mulch every spring. Well, the answer to both questions is ground covers. Here at this nursery, we have rows and rows of different types of ground covers for every situation.
And you know, Roger, one of our most popular ground covers is Pachysandra. Isn't that pretty? A flat is reasonably priced. You get around 50 plants, little cuttings right here in the tray. It's evergreen, very nice. Deep shade. This is the plant to use under your maple trees and your shaded trees with high roots and dry soil. Pachysandra.
Only problem, pretty common. You see it everywhere.
See it everywhere. There is a little bit of a variety here with this variegated Pachysandra.
Yeah, it grows a little slower.
A little slower, but I think it's well worth the wait. Isn't that pretty?
Nice little fringe on the edge of it.
We also have other alternatives. Down here we have English ivy.
Another one that's everywhere.
Everywhere, I know. Look at the length on these runners, Roger. It'll keep going and going and going.
But again, it's so aggressive that it'll actually climb up trees and it may need some maintenance.
That's right. The reason we love this plant for filling our spaces is the reason we hate this plant for taking over.
Now, ivy doesn't really have a flower on it.
Right. Oh, it's just solid green. But you know, there is another ground cover, Pinkavine, that has a pretty little blue flower. In the spring, there's white, there's lavender. Again, very aggressive, limitless growth, keeps going and going and going.
These runners will actually root, and when they root, you can cut them off and start a new plant, or just let them go, and they'll keep moving out and out and out.
That's right, that's right.
Well, those are pretty common. What about some other alternatives?
There are others, Roger. Look right over here. We have this really sweet, pretty, sweet woodruff. Isn't that a delicate, nice little ground cover? Little white flower in the spring.
I love it. It's a great alternative.
And it has fragrance. In fact, people dry this and use this in potpourri. And how about this option?
Low bush blueberry.
Low bush blueberry. Why not? It's a little bit woody. Nice red fall foliage in the fall.
But also a white flower, and some of them will have blueberries on them.
A blueberry to eat.
Yeah.
That's great. And then, of course, we have thyme. Thyme is a great, what they call steppable. You can put it between your stones in your walkway, step on it, and voila.
That's a great place, is fill in those cracks in a stone walkway.
That's right.
And then as it grows out, like you said, you step on it.
And you
and
smell
you get
the fragrance. And flowers as well. Beautiful option.
This is a little different. I don't think I've worked with this before.
You know, for very dry locations.
Yep.
Sedum.
Will do well in a rock garden.
Right. Great in a rock garden.
Well, let's get some in the ground.
All right, let's get started. I thought we'd start with some ajuga. Look at the beautiful varieties here, Roger. Variegated, pinks, bronze colors. In the spring, a nice spike of blue flowers. Really pretty.
Boy, plenty of color there. I take it you like those.
I do. I like these. You know, they have a great root system, nice and long, so that would be great for erosion control as well.
Whenever I'm creating a bed for ground covers, instead of digging individual holes, I want to prepare the whole bed so that it gives plenty of room for the ground covers to root and grow out.
That's right.
And now, with the bed turned over, I like to add a couple inches of compost.
That's right. I'll work it in. Compost is a great amendment to your soil, Roger. To amend your soil with compost adds nutrients to your soil, helps with aeration, just really a great product.
You know, you can actually feel the difference in the soil from when we started.
You're right. It's lightened it up and it'll have great drainage, which is very important for ground
covers. And the plants will love it.
They will. Now a little fertilizer, Roger.
Now we're just using a starter fertilizer and we're putting it down per the directions on the bag.
That's right. And once these ground covers are established, once a year we'll give them another feed.
And I'm just going to come behind you and rake that fertilizer into the top so it'll be available for the new roots.
Perfect.
Now we're ready to plant.
Great, let's get to it. Here we go. Look at this ajuga rod. Look at the root system on here. Extensive root system, nice and long. Hold that soil in place, especially if you're doing erosion control. So let's get them planted. We don't want to plant it any deeper than the top of this soil here because we don't want to rot the crown.
Right. It's a great thing about prepping the whole bed is it makes it so easy to plant these. You just pop a little hole, free up the roots, set it in the hole at the right height, and then just backfill with that good soil all around it. Makes the planting part easy, doesn't it?
It does. That looks awesome. So the spacing looks great, Roger. Eventually, this will fill right in.
Yeah, they're about 12 inches apart. If you wanted to plant them closer, you could.
Right.
cost you more money, but you get instant plants.
That's right, instant gratification. But no need to, really, because these will just spread out beautifully.
They're going to send out runners in 2 or 3 years. This will be one mass of ajuga.
And you know, it's going to look beautiful with our variety of plants here and the pretty flowers in the spring. This will be lovely. I like it.
I love in front here, we're going to have this nice little carpet of ajuga, but I think
Right.
we could use something a little taller in the back.
You know what would be beautiful back there? Hay-scented fern.
Fern in the sun.
That's why I'm suggesting it. Hay-scented fern will tolerate sun. Love it.
Let's
It'll
do
fill
it.
in beautifully. Most people don't think about ferns as a ground cover, Roger, but this hay-scented variety is wonderful. It spreads and creeps right along the ground.
Yeah, the great thing about the hay scented is it'll tolerate shade or full sun like we have here.
That's right. So when you're looking for a fern in the nursery, you want to make sure it's a creeper or a spread it if you're looking for it as a ground cover variety. This looks beautiful. It's going to fill in so nice.
All right, I think we're ready for some water.
I think so, Roger. Nice thorough watering, get all that root system.
So we're really soaking them in with this first watering.
That's right. And during their first few weeks, we're going to water them frequently and thoroughly until they're established.
Keep that soil moist.
Keep that soil moist. They are going to love it.
Now this initial mulching is going to hold the moisture in the ground and stop weeds from germinating.
Right.
But we'll never have to mulch this bed again once these ground covers grow in.
Right. That's the beauty of the ground cover. Once it fills in, less watering, less mulch, saves you time and money.
So it's not hard to imagine how beautiful this is going to be a year from now.
I know. I agree with you, Roger. This is going to be just lovely. It looks beautiful now. And we can get better.
When Hadley first saw this family room, she was ready to move in.
That's definitely why we bought this house. We love this room. The only frustrating thing is that the heating system just isn't able to warm it up enough in the winter. Even when we crank the thermostat up to 85 degrees, we're lucky if it gets to about 64 degrees in here on a good day.
For Richard, the only solution is to start fresh. He's going to tear out the old baseboard heaters and replace them with a commonly found, simple to install solution.
And now, in the winter, you can actually turn the thermostat up and actually stay here. Well, Hadley, this is a beautiful space, kitchen falling into the family room, but it is really a challenge to heat.
You're telling me it's always freezing.
Now, this has doors and windows everywhere, and that can let a lot of the heat out. You've got a skylight here that's beautiful, but it also can act like a chimney to let that heat go right out of the building. This room was built in, what, the 50s, you told me?
1950s.
Now, insulation back then wasn't all that great in the ceiling.
Yeah, I don't think there's much up there at all.
And if that isn't enough, the main house ends right here.
Correct.
Everything from here out is a poured concrete slab.
Which is freezing to walk on. It feels like an ice cube.
Absolutely. So, the way that the heat's delivered to this room is a product called radiant baseboard. And this is extruded aluminum. Supply water goes twice through the baseboard, down and back. You can see it wrapped all the way around the room right here. Now, the only way that installing contractor could feed this room, because of that concrete slab, was way over here. Look at this. In this bathroom, here's our supply and our return. This other pipe is the water feed to the toilet. Now, our heating supply comes right here through the baseboard, all the way, and you can see right here, it even goes behind this wood stove. Looks like they added that wood stove because this didn't keep up.
Yeah, I think so. This was out in the 80s.
All right, radiant baseboard looks great and can give enough heat, but not in a room that has too much heat loss. So I think we got to get rid of this baseboard to one that has more output.
Sounds like a great idea to me,
All right.
Richard.
All right, before we work on that baseboard, I needed to drain all the water out of it, so I've done that. So Hadley, here's your heating boiler. It's an oil-fired boiler. Here's the burner right here. When you turn on the thermostat, it'll fire up that burner, heat up the water, and the water leaves from the boiler right here, comes up through this pipe, and now it has a choice to go out to the main zone right here or to this zone that goes out to your family room. See, when you turn on the thermostat in the family room, the water will circulate through this pipe. It goes up and heats up that room, or not, and then comes back cooler right here. You see it? And then here's our circulator pump, and that's what makes the water circulate around. Now, with the water drained, we can break our connections over under the bathroom. All right, so down here at the far end of your basement, we are right at the end of the original house, and that slab goes that way. And our bathroom's right above us.
Okay.
So you can see our supply and our return pipe that come from the boiler for this zone. And you can see that we transition right here from copper down to this small pipe called PEX, this plastic pipe, and that feeds the radiant baseboard. So now we can break those connections. And now the other one. Okay. All right, we've got a couple of PEX pipes here that I can cut. Just snip those with a PEX cutter. There's one. All right, let's pull it off the wall. Towards you. Okay, let's just carry it right out. Leave your end a little bit lower than mine. There you go. All right, Hadley, why don't you cut the next one? Just pull that middle cover right there.
Okay.
There's your snips. Now be ready. There might be a little bit of water, so have the
Top
rag
first?
ready. Either one.
Okay. You made it look so easy, Richard. I'm through.
There's one.
Sorry.
Good. Now the other one. All right. Keep the rag on the end so we don't drip it on your nice rug here.
All right.
And right outside. All right. So here's a piece of the radiant baseboard that we just took off the wall. And when it's up against the wall, it just looks great, doesn't it? 1 by 10 looks like a piece of wooden
It's
baseboard.
nice and flat. Yeah.
Now, as you look behind it, though, you can see how it's made and how it works. This is actually one piece of extruded aluminum. Both the plate and these two tubes are connected. Supply water comes up from the boiler right here and passes through this tube. Now, heat is pulled from the tube and transferred to this sheet right here and gives off its heat to the room. Now, this would be the end piece on our run because the water continues through here, returns right here, another pass, gives off more heat, and it goes back to be reheated.
Okay.
It's a radiant style of heat, so it heats the people and the objects. But it doesn't always have enough output to heat a room like this. So today we're going to replace it with this. This is called convective baseboard, also called copper fin baseboard.
Okay.
Air is drawn in through the bottom, it gets heated, and comes into the room this way and heats all the air in the room. The way it works, underneath the cover, there's a copper pipe that heated water goes through. And look at all these aluminum fins right here. So all the heat that's in that pipe makes those fins hot. And that draws the cool air that's down to the floor up inside and creates a chimney effect so that air circulates right around the room.
Great.
Now, because of these fins, we can get twice the output per linear foot with convective baseboard over the radiant baseboard.
Oh, great. So the room will definitely be warm enough
I
now.
think so.
Now, I've noticed this one only has 1 pipe, but the old system had 2 pipes.
Well, normally when you put this baseboard in, you're going to be able to supply it from the boiler up through the floor or out through the wall into the baseboard. The water continues along and then drops down to be reheated. It goes back to the boiler. But in your case, we can't because you've got that concrete slab. So they make this a return bend. It's going to allow us to have the pipe return inside the cabinet. You can see that
Oh, great. And they
it's
left you space.
perfect
to put it in.
space for it right here. So we'll go down and we'll go right back. Ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Good. All right, let's get started putting it up on the wall. Now, this is the back plate. We've removed the front element and the front cover. And now, normally, we just put it onto the floor and secure it to the wall, but we want it to be level. Now, look, you've got a crown in your floor, which means it's not level. So let's see what we got to do here. All right, so that needs a little bit of lift on the right about there. Make a mark at the level point. Good. I'm going to attach this back plate to the wall using drywall screws, and whenever possible, I want to hit a stud. All right, good, Hadley. Now, even though these are individual heating elements, it's one continuous loop,
Okay.
down and back. But now I have to get from this side all the way back to the basement, but this chimney mast is in the way. So what the original installer did of the radiant baseboard is he used these small PEX lines right here, and they go into a chase behind this chimney mast, and there's a chase in there. Now, these are too small for us, so what I want to do is to actually tie on to the old ones to help us fish our new larger size PEX lines behind there.
That's a great idea, Richard.
Okay, to tie onto this pipe, I'm going to use this. It's called a cable puller, made for the electrical industry, and as you pull it, it gets tighter. So it gets tighter onto here. Okay, just for safety, I'm going to put a little bit of tape on it. All right, now, Haley, I need you to pull from that side, and I'll feed it to you. Gently, though.
Okay.
Let me feed it to you. Yeah, good. Straight back, go. I got to feed it to you, go. Keep going. Pull. Gentle, good. Good, great. Keep coming. Should be seeing the string.
I see it.
Good. All right, so here's our new PEX lines we're going to run. I want to show you the old ones. Do you see anything different?
The new ones look a lot bigger.
Absolutely. We want to carry more heat, so they're larger size lines. We're going to use the same cable puller, like that, and then I'm going to tape that on, but I'm also going to tape the two together, and then we're going to pull it in behind this fireplace. But it could be cold back in there, so I keep on putting that insulation on the pipe.
Okay.
Slide it up. Great. Super. Keep coming. Yep. Right about there. And the other one. Okay. Great. All right, you good there?
Yep.
Okay. You just tape it all together and pull it through. Okay. Once you come over the other side, I'm going to feed this. You can't pull it too hard. And I'm going to just feed this to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Pull the slack. Just take steady slack. Pull. You got
I'm
it?
starting to see it.
Good. You made it.
It's made it all the way through.
Yeah, just get about 1.5 feet out. So, super. Enough?
Yep.
Good.
It's out.
All right, we've got all of our elements dry fit into place, and now we just have to clean each of the fittings and then flux them, and then we can solder them together. Each element has one flared end, so they can actually slide together without a fitting. Okay, good. Next. All right, we've run all of our elements and our return piping. You can see it here. We've fluxed and cleaned all the fittings. We just need to put this return bend right here in the end. And we are ready to solder it all together. All right, now I want to make my connections between the PEX that goes behind the fireplace and these adapters that I've soldered onto the heating element and the return bend. So I just want to mark where I want to cut it. I'm going to cut it with this PEX cutter. Now, we're making a compression connection using a nut and a split barbed ferrule. And that goes on the outside of the tubing. And then this sticks right down onto this insert fitting on the end of the adapter, and then you tighten up the nut. There we go. Okay, so the last part of our job is right here in this small bathroom. You can see I've run a heating element right here on the outside wall, and that's all I'm going to use in here because it isn't that big a room and that's all we do need. Now I've run another baseboard cover right here with no element in it. I'm going to use that as what they call a dummy to cover up my supply and return lines that are going to come up from the basement. And you can see our old ones right here. Here's the old PEX lines. And I want to get rid of them to go with new ones that are larger. But before we do, I'm going to use them like I did before with our trusty cable puller to pull new lines up from the basement. Okay, good. So now I just need to fill the system with water and test for leaks. Okay, all the covers are on. Good. Now I left one off to show you. We want to make sure that anywhere there's a bracket like this, these carriers are placed exactly right so that the element can expand and contract without making any noise. So we are good to go. Just give me a hand popping this last cover on. And now, in the winter, you can actually turn the thermostat up and actually stay here and enjoy this room.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually excited for winter to come.
You've never said that before, have you?
Never. Thank you.
So Tommy, when it comes to hanging drywall, like on the stud wall we've got right here, it's pretty straightforward, but we do have to actually transfer the location of these electrical boxes onto the drywall so we can cut out the opening.
Right, and that can be tricky. One of the ways I like to do it is I can use a level right here, hold it tight to the floor. The first thing I want to do is I want to mark the height of the box, so I transfer those measurements to my level. Now I'm going to go down to the floor, but I'm first going to make sure my level is plumb. I'm going to put a pencil line right here on this side of the box, and I'm going to move it over, making sure that it's plumb, and I mark the floor again.
So you've actually made no measurements. You've just sort of transferred the location to your level and the floor, and then when we slide in the drywall.
Right, and I put my level back on the lines on the floor first, making my level plumb, and I just go in between my two marks, make one side of the box. I can mark the height of the box, go to the other line, make sure I'm plumb again, put my mark, and this is where I'll cut the hole for the box right there. I'll cut that using a jab saw where I just bang right through and cut up and down.
Pretty easy, but you've actually got an easier way, right?
Right, we're going to try these right here. This is a red marking sheet. There's a red dye on one side and sticky on the other. I'll actually take it and stick it to the box. Take another one and I'll put it on this box right here.
We'll bring the drywall back in.
Bring the sheet over, put it right up against the wall, nice and tight.
Kick it to me a little bit.
Okay, now I have a rough idea that the box is right around here. I'll mark that one. Now just take the sheet, turn it around.
And how did we do?
We did very well. We have a nice dark red line to follow. I'll take my jab saw, put it up against the mark, jab through the wall, cut my hole.
Well, that is a great tip, Tommy. And we have got plenty more of them, so join us next time Until then, I'm Kevin O'Connor
And I'm Tom Silva.
for Ask This Old House.
Yeah, I love that.
Next time on Ask This Old House.
We are out on the road solving your home improvement projects.
I'm headed to Fargo, North Dakota to help a homeowner make her backyard more enjoyable by building a patio and a fire pit.
Where are the margaritas?
And we'll ask, what is it?
All right, boys. I have had one of these for many, many years.
And then Tommy's got some pointers on how a little bit of maintenance on a brick staircase can save us from having to replace the whole thing.
That's next time on Ask This Old House. If you have a question about your house or a tip you'd like to share, please let us know. Visit our website, pbs.org, for expert advice, step-by-step videos, and much more. This Old House magazine, the companion to the television series, provides advice from our experts that you've come to know. You can use your credit card to order 10 monthly issues for $10 by calling 1-800-221-5900.